I've literally been trying to film this video for like 30 minutes now. I literally just stopped recording. I stopped talking and I was like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just get this right? And I was literally just about to take my makeup off and take my wig off and just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, knowing damn well that tomorrow is going to come and my period is starting tomorrow, so I can actually say, oh yeah, I'm not gonna do it because I'm in pain, so yeah, fuck, I'm gonna do it on Wednesday. And Wednesday is gonna come and I'll say, you know what, yesterday was really painful, I deserve a break, so I'm not gonna do it today. I have a lecture anyway, so I'm gonna go to uni and I'll do it on Thursday, knowing damn well Thursday, Friday will come and I actually will not film this video. So here I am filming it anyway, because I don't know why it's so hard for us as human beings to actually just show up for ourselves when we know damn well we really want something and somehow we find a reason to stop ourselves. We make progress, we get ahead, and then whenever we're just about to build enough momentum for us to get where we want to get to, we stop ourselves. We have such a negative talk within ourselves, because I was like, who am I to actually start talking about self-sabotaging when I'm the biggest self-sabotager of all of them? How can I tell these people how to stop self-sabotaging when I know damn well that I self-sabotage all the time? I literally will find a reason as to why I shouldn't film that day. What I'm talking about isn't important enough, or I'm pretty sure they've had this before. I'm pretty sure there's so many other people that can speak better about this conversation than I ever can. What value do I really have to offer? That is the kind of conversation that I have in my mind, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us live that way. We're literally stuck in this cycle of knowing what we want, but then somehow subconsciously we self-sabotage. Subconsciously we stop ourselves from doing the very things that we know are actually good for us. I don't even care anymore. I'm just doing this purely because I want to honor my word and I want to honor myself. I struggle with self-sabotaging so much. I don't know how to fix it. Whether you learn something from me or not, I'm telling you things in real time as I'm struggling to deal with them. We're all human beings and we're all struggling with something, and I really struggle with self-sabotaging, but somehow I'm going to tell you what I have done to somehow still show up even when I'm literally drowning in feelings of unworthiness and self-hate and dramatic start. So let me look at my notes at least to give me some direction.
She just let me know, but it sure no fit, didn't say from here.
I looked for the definition of self-sabotaging, and self-sabotaging essentially is behavior or thoughts, especially of an involuntary or unconscious nature, that are harmful to one's own interest and or development. It could look like procrastination, when you know you're supposed to be doing something, somehow you keep procrastinating, getting started on it because either you feel ashamed that you've left it this long and you still haven't done it. You're just trying to avoid the discomfort of sitting there and not knowing what you're saying. For example, me, I procrastinate on filming so many times because I'm just like, I don't want to sit there feeling like I don't really know exactly what I'm supposed to be talking about. I don't have the products that everyone has. I don't have this, and my house doesn't look like this. So I just stop myself and I procrastinate, and then I keep procrastinating, and next thing I know, it's been 4 weeks and I've only posted one video. You said you wanted to go to the gym beginning of this year. You even signed up to the most expensive gym so that it can pay you every single time you're paying for that gym. But here you are, you've been paying for that gym and they've literally only seen you 3 times since the year began. You want to stop being a heavy smoker. Whenever you get the tiniest little bit of stress, you're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going back. Self-sabotaging could also look like laziness, and I'm saying laziness because I don't really believe anyone is inherently lazy. I feel as though as human beings we are creators, and whenever you're not creating, whenever you're not getting involved in the process of doing life, most of the time that actually leads to depression, and people call that laziness. There's an identity that you have of yourself on a subconscious level that is keeping you unproductive or lazy. Why is it so hard for us knowing how better life could be if you left that toxic relationship, if you left that corporate job that really drains you, that you would feel so much better in your body if you went to the gym, if you kept active, ate better? Why is it still so hard? Why is that not enough motivation for us to actually get started, for us to stay consistent? The main reason why it's so hard for us to do it is because inherently we feel so unworthy, and it's on a very subconscious level. The brainwaves of an infant, like a newborn, are at delta. Delta is literally where your brainwaves are at when you're asleep. Once the child starts to grow up, becoming a toddler, their brainwaves are at theta. Essentially means that the door to your subconscious mind is literally wide open. So you're receptive to anything that is told to you, just take it. So if you were abused as a child, if you were neglected, if you were bullied, your brain is not developed enough for you to analyze the situation. So what actually happens is you go within you and you tell yourself that, yeah, there's something wrong with you. You deserve to be unloved. You deserve to be neglected. You deserve to be abused. Because that has gone on such a subconscious level, it ends up controlling your life. It's the very narrative that you were telling yourself as a child, that is the same narrative that you have carried along with in your life. And because that is the narrative that you have, the work of your brain is literally to protect you, to protect the narrative that you have told your brain. And the narrative that we told our brains is, we are unworthy, we don't deserve to be loved, we don't deserve to be wanted, we don't deserve to be accepted. So we're sort of stuck in this cycle where we want good things, we want to reach for things that are different from us, but then our brain is like, hold on, you told me that we are unwanted. Why are you suddenly aspiring to have a healthy relationship? That's not who you are, that's not what you want, that doesn't align with who you are, and so I have to stop you. The self-sabotaging is inherently coming from you feeling like you are unworthy of whatever it is that you desire. It's essentially you being so attached to the identity that you've had all these years that anything that is outside of that identity looks like untethered territories, danger, stop. And as much as this toxic relationship is so bad for your mental health, but it feels familiar, it feels like home. Why? Because you grew up in an environment that was so toxic, and so that's all you know. And so the fear of venturing into an environment that is stable doesn't feel right. The person that you believe that you are is what your subconscious mind is protecting. That is the identity that your subconscious mind is protecting. Your conscious mind, which is your inner parent is thinking, okay, we need to quit this job, I need to start my own business, I want to work on being financially free because financial freedom is gonna make me feel better, I'll be able to travel, I'll be able to have time with my kids, I'll be able to do this and that. But then your inner child is like, okay, we've never really had freedom all our lives, we've never really seen anyone who even is financially free, so who the hell do you think you are to now be the one who's financially free? Calm down. It is so uncomfortable to the point where even when you know the end result will be better for you than where you are right now, you will find a reason as to why you don't want to do it. Your entire life you've always identified as plus size, and maybe you've even got opportunities by being a plus size model. And now that you know you really want to lose the weight, who do you become now once you've lost the weight? Whenever you start putting in the effort to actually lose the weight, you find yourself reverting back to what you know, because that is what you identify as. So if you have a certain narrative of yourself, your brain will look for evidence as to why whatever you've told your brain is true. So if you've always identified as the person who is not financially free, you're a victim, you're unlovable, you're unwanted, you're unworthy, your brain has literally always looked for evidence throughout your entire life to show you that that narrative is literally true. So just because you have that belief, it doesn't mean that it's actually true. But then because your focus has always been there, your brain doesn't have a choice but to actually give you evidence as to why that is true. If you believe that you are unworthy, you always attract people that prove to you that you are indeed very unworthy. But that doesn't mean that the person who sees you as worthy doesn't exist. Your mind is only focused on the fact that you are indeed unworthy, and so you constantly keep attracting people that prove that point to you. Even when someone starts to choose you, when someone is blatantly saying, I love you, it's you that I want to be with, you're like, okay, but what's wrong with you? Why do you want me? Because I'm seeing myself with all my imperfections, and I'm like, first of all, I'm thinking, I am looking at you and I thought you're out of my league. Then you like me? What's wrong with you? You are only conscious of this reality. It doesn't mean that the other side of the coin doesn't exist. How do we stop self-sabotage? As I said in the beginning of the video, I'm not a therapist, so I don't really know exactly what you should do. However, I'm going to tell you the things that I have done and the things that have helped me. The first thing I want you to do is to understand that your subconscious mind is only trying to protect you. So don't shame yourself out of self-sabotage. There's no point of you feeling shame. Just understand all of this is happening because your brain is trying to protect you. So instead of you being harsh on yourself and telling yourself, why can't I just get things right? Why can't I just be like other people and go to the gym and be consistent and be this and be that? Understand that your subconscious mind has a narrative that has been told to it, and it's essentially essentially just protecting you. It's not that your brain doesn't want you to flourish or it doesn't want you to become a millionaire. Your brain just thinks what we've been doing all along is good for us, because your brain doesn't know what is good and what is bad. There's no point of you getting mad at yourself because you're not getting things right or you're not doing what you need to do. Willpower can only go so far. You forcing yourself to do something can only go so far. So what we need to do is start to change the narrative that we've had all these years, so that now we can start telling the subconscious mind, okay, actually it's safe for us to change. It's safe for us to believe different. Start telling your subconscious mind a different narrative. Then the next thing I want you to do is be honest with yourself. What repetitive need is being fulfilled by you staying in your current identity? Because there is definitely a need that is being fulfilled. Like for me, for example, I know every single time I self-sabotage and I procrastinate and I decide not to be consistent, not show up where I said I would, I know that the repetitive need that is being fulfilled is that I get to be comfortable. I get to avoid the pain. I get to avoid taking all this time and filming a video only for me to post it and it doesn't really do that well. I end up getting negative comments. I end up sitting through the video and I hate the way I'm talking. I hate the way I'm sounding. I'm being protected from all of that discomfort, and so I get to be comfortable. Acknowledge the need that is being fulfilled by you staying exactly where you are. If you just jump straight into, I want to stop being like this, I want to stop like this, okay, but you haven't tackled what that behavior is helping you do. It's helping you cope. It's helping you feel better about yourself. It's helping you be a part of a group. There's something that it's doing. And then the next thing I want you to do, and this one is gonna need for you to have a pen and paper, get clear on your goals. Do you really and truly want whatever you say that you want? Or do you feel like you should have it because society has conditioned you to actually believe that? Every single time that someone tells me, oh yeah, I wanna quit my corporate job, I wanna quit my job and start entrepreneurship, I always ask them, is that something you genuinely want, or is that something that you've just seen so many people doing it and telling you that it's the way to go and so you feel you should go in that direction? So is it that you really want what you want, or is it something that you feel you should want? Because that really changes everything. Once you've got clear on your goals and you've narrowed down to the things that really feel authentic to you, I want you to write 5 reasons why you feel like you don't deserve that goal. Whether it's because you've always been the fat friend and you identify as the fat friend. You want to be financially free, but then you've never really seen anyone around you who is financially free. So it feels wrong. It feels greedy for you to want all these things that you want. So write all the reasons as to why you think or you believe you shouldn't have those things. And then on the next side of the table, I want you to counteract those things that you wrote there. I want you to write the opposite of that and give yourself evidence as to why actually you do deserve those things. It is your birthright to have the desires of your heart. By that I mean, by the virtue of you being born, you are already deserving of everything. Contrast only exists to birth desires. If we didn't have contrast, by contrast I mean like negative things. Negative things happen to show us that we desire different. Because without desires, then what are we really doing in this world? What are we actually working on? We are creators. All of us are creators. We all are in this world to create things, to create realities for ourselves. So for example, if you grow up with a toxic parent, how would you know that when you have children, you want to be completely different from that? If you grew up in poverty, then that evoked a desire in you to be financially free. So all those things, all those negative things that have happened to you, it just happened to birth a desire, something for you to work towards. There's nothing you have to do to deserve them. And don't get me wrong, yes, there's definitely things that you need to do in order to attract the things that you want to you, but don't confuse that with you doing something to deserve it. You deserving the thing, that comes with you just being born. Do you really think God created any of us and said, you will be the example of the poor people and you'll just be seeing people who are rich and you will be feeling bad? Do you really actually believe that that's how God designed things? Because we are all equal. We are all created equally. As you're doing the list of the reasons as to why you deserve to achieve whatever goal you've written down, the first thing I want you to write is, it is my birthright to have the desires of my heart. I don't have to do anything outside of who I am to deserve this. It's already mine. And then now write the other things. You deserve to be working a job that makes you feel excited to wake up in the morning. You deserve to be making an income that is above livable income. You deserve to live a life that is exciting. Write all the reasons as to why you deserve it. And every single time, whenever you feel like you're starting to slip back into your old habit, look at that list and use them as your affirmations. Even if you don't believe it, say, Chelsea told me it's my birthright to have the desires of my heart. And you know what? I believe Chelsea. Even if I don't believe myself, I believe Chelsea. If she said it and she believes it, she said it with so much conviction, I believe her. Keep telling yourself that, because now what we're doing is we're trying to change the narrative that you've told yourself of how unworthy you are, because you are worthy, you are wanted, you are loved. You are respected. You are honored. The world needs to see how talented you are. You deserve a healthy marriage. You deserve to be chosen. You don't deserve to be abandoned. You deserve to have a body that you feel proud of. You deserve to have a booty that's jiggling all the way, okay? You deserve that too, girl. And then the next thing I want you to do is think about your goals in a very realistic way. And when I say that, I don't mean be realistic in terms of your goals. You guys know that I'm all about being delusional and being unrealistic and as huge as possible when it comes to your goals. What I mean by you being realistic, I'm talking about the day-to-day, to understand that every single change comes with good and bad. Acknowledge that once you have achieved those goals, there's gonna be good and bad. There's gonna be the parts about your goal, about your dream that you don't enjoy doing. The day-to-day of me having 100,000 subscribers would mean I would have to really be consistent. I'm gonna have to get comfortable with showing up on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. I'm gonna have to get comfortable with showing up, because the more people I have on my platform, the more they're going to expect me to be consistent, because the people are not clicking to subscribe on my channel for me to be posting once a month. Look at the day-to-day of you having achieved those dreams and see it exactly the way it is. Don't just see the end when you've already made it and you've done everything, because that literally, it just feels like a very big jump. Judging from where you are right now, you start to feel undeserving and unworthy of it, because it feels so far and so out of reach. So if you actually see it from the steps that you need to take to get there, how the day-to-day is gonna look once you've gotten there, then now you can start to actualize and actually head somewhere, because it feels more like step-by-step type of thing, instead of like this huge leap and this huge change that's gonna happen once you've figured something out. Then the last thing I want you to remind yourself is to stay conscious. Every single video I do about self-development, I'm always gonna go back to you staying conscious. You have to stay conscious of your subconscious thoughts. You already understand that the reason why we're self-sabotaging is because of our subconscious thoughts. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. I want that to sink in. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Every single time that you've said, oh, it's God's will, oh yeah, it's fate, you know, I can't do anything. Okay, maybe you can't control famine and drought and war and things like that, but you can control the perception. Everything is perception. It's about how you're perceiving things. Your subconscious mind is controlling everything. There is no way for you to heal yourself, for you to change the narrative that is going on within you, unless you stay conscious. So please remember to stay conscious. Just to let you guys know, this is my third bottle of the day. Yeah, this is a liter, so I'm almost done with 3 liters today. Yeah! You feeling fulfilled is actually on the other side of whatever it is that you're so scared of. I'm really glad that I showed up. Not self-sabotaging could just look like you just showing up. Even on a hard day, just show up. Just show up and say, I did it. I did it anyway. And let me tell you, this universe is abundant. The abundance in this world is infinite. You can amass all the wealth you want and there will still be enough for everyone else. You can amass all the opportunities you want and there will still be enough for everyone else. Please remind yourself, whatever you want, it's not too big. There's still space for you. I don't care how overly saturated that industry is, there is space for you. Whatever your goals, your dreams and ambitions are, I can bet my life on it that there's more than 5 people who are already living that life. And if they did it and we are all deserving, then what makes them more deserving of that life than you? You are equally deserving. So remind yourself that. Even when it feels impossible, even when you actually don't believe it, just remind yourself until it sticks and do it anyway. I have been given a voice and I have been given a platform. It is my obligation to show up. No one on this planet was created to suffer. None of us was created to suffer. You are so worthy of everything you desire. And I love you with all my heart and my soul.